Hello, welcome back to City Planner Plays, where we are playing Timberborn, and today we are going to spend some time building a brand new beavery city filled to the brim with YouTube members, patrons, and Discord moderators that have been reincarnated as lovable beavers. Not that you weren't all lovable as humans. There have been a ton of updates since we last played the game, which have made the game a ton better in my humble opinion. Today we're going to play a new game, and we're going to use the folk tales, which are easygoing and hardworking, much like myself, I believe.
Yeah, boy.
They love comfort food and sturdy wood. Get your mind out of the gutter. They're basically little mini Ron Swansons. And we're going to play on the Terraces map, which should provide a pretty unique challenge, which you'll see in just a minute. But before we dive in, I want to thank the devs for sponsoring today's video. They wanted me to let you know that the game is currently 20% off as part of the Steam Winter Sale. So if you've been on the fence, this might be a great time to get the game. All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to Bluffside Crossing. Beavers on a bluff. So we know we have a few things we need to take care of right away. So first of all, let's take a look at the map. And what you see is that we are at the top of this bluff with no way down. We have a limited number of resources available to us, some berries, some trees, and that's about it. We've got water right here as well. There's a couple of things in order of priority of what we need to do. First of all, secure our water supply. We need water. We need a sustainable source of lumber and a sustainable source of food. Now, from what I can see here, we could have a gatherer and then maybe some farming around this as well. Dam this off so we can control our water supply. And right as soon as that's done, we need to focus on getting down this hill. So let's begin. What we'll do is we will just draw this all the way over here. I think that this will be the way that we control our lumber supply over here. We will use this as the way of controlling our food supply. And I'm going to reorient this. We'll come right down the middle here. Ooh, I think that's new. I didn't see those animations before. That's pretty cool. And then coming out the middle here, we will come towards our water supply. And if I place this correctly, we could get 2. And then right away, we're going to need some wood. So we're going to place a few lumberjack flags right off the bat. Now I'm placing this, and that blue line right there shows the extent of how far this goes. I just want 2, maybe even 3 in places where lumber can't grow. And then we need to place to store all the wood that we get. So we'll go into our storage and, oh, this is new. We have a small pile and a large pile and then an underground pile, which is something I've always wanted. So this is great. It's unique to the folktale. So that is interesting. We are going to have a large pile. We'll place that right over here. And you see right here, the beavers are confused. They have nothing to do in the range. And the reason for that is we haven't actually gone ahead and identified our trees for cutting. So we've got to do that. So we'll just identify all of these trees for cutting. And right away, to me, this means that we've got to start thinking about getting a forester. So that is going to be something that's going to be a priority for us. To get the forester, we're going to need some science. You can see how this all starts to spiral. There's always something to do. And we'll add a couple of gatherers for now. And I'm going to cut down, this is probably not super smart, a couple of berry bushes right here that are in the way of this path. And then I want to dam this right here. So I talked about the dam. We'll dam right at the end. We're going to need storage for both our water and our food. So we're going to add that as well. So, we have a small warehouse now that's 30 and a large one that's 200. Now, I know that we're going to fill up 30 right away. So we'll just go with 200. Let's go grab all these berries. I'm going to pause this for a second. I want to give our town center a little space. And then for water, we need a water structure as well. And it's missing. Maybe under storage? Yes. So we have a small tank, 30 capacity, medium tank, 300, and then large? That looks new. Maybe it is? I think that's new. Well, we don't have gears or planks. All we have is just normal logs, so that's all we can go with. And we're going to place a couple of these right off the bat. And then we're going to get this going. And why don't we check out what beavers that we have available to us? And right here, the user interface is really improved. If we click on this, we can see all of our beavers, and I see a couple of mods in here, so I'm pretty excited about that. We got Banana Mod, we got Jason C, we've got Philip with 2 L's. How dare you? We've also got the Federation, so that is awesome. So we have these beavers, and they are all homeless. So we can tell that because right here, it just says homeless. Over here, we can see what jobs they have. And if we click on this, it'll take us right to their job, and we can disable it if we want to, or enable it. and change the priority, which is a really cool addition. This means that if we have a job that we know is the most important or one of the most important jobs, we can prioritize that over everything else. So that is something that I've really wanted to see, and I'm really happy that it happened. Now that we've got this going, we'll close out of here, and we just kind of got to let this make its way through at this point. And day 1 is in the books, and all of our homeless beavers sleep on the ground. Okay, and it didn't take long to have most of our stuff get built in. I noticed one thing off the bat. This looks a ton different than it used to. So this is our storage facility, and it's got a question mark above it, as does this as well. So let's click into here, and when we see this question mark, it tells us that no good is selected. So if we go in here, we now have the ability to specify what goes in our warehouse. This is a double-edged sword. Before, you could just kind of let it go and it would load up with whatever. Now you've got to micromanage this, but I personally like this a lot more. We can really maximize our efficiency of these gatherers now. So we'll set this to gather berries, and look at that. It adds a little flag there of some berries. Over here, what can we store in here? Dirt, metal blocks, planks, treated planks, scrap metal, or our logs. So that is a great improvement, because I think before all of this stuff had to be stored in a warehouse. So kind of inefficient. And now we've got thirsty beavers, but thankfully we've got our first water tank done, and it's the same story here. We can store everything from water to maple syrup to fuel, so that is awesome. We're going to store water, and I think you can set this up front, so we're going to set this one to water as well. And with that, we've only got a couple more things that need to be completed before we have exhausted everything. So I'm going to set these to be high priority because I really want to finish this road off. And I want to focus on getting this here because I think this is how we protect our water supply. And thankfully, the beavers are coming right along here and making it happen. So we've already got an almost full warehouse, and we should take a look at this. Look at that. That's adorable. So there are little boxes of berries that load this up and turn it blue, and it matches the flag here. I love that. That is a great addition to the game. And the Federation has grown up. What is the Federation up to? Unemployed and homeless. We're going to need to fix that. I think that's not a good solution for the Federation. We respect you more than that, Fed. So we're going to do something about this. As much as I want to focus on housing, and I think that we need to, we have one more thing that is probably even more important, and that is science. So the reason why science is going to be so important to us is because we need to be able to work on getting down the hill. And we also need a forester. So the forester is going to cost us 60 science. And to get down the hill, we are going to need to build wooden stairs, which will cost 70. And we'll also need platforms, which is 100, 150, and 200. So we are going to go hard towards science because I think it's one of the most important things you can do in the game. So to go towards science, you need to build an inventor. And these are really interesting looking buildings, so I want to place them on top of this hill over here. It's important, but I do think that the other things that we're building are probably a little bit more important. In particular, the dams. These are super important. So we're going to increase the speed on these. And then once those are done, we can really start cranking towards our science. Because again, this is important. Once our science is complete, we are going to start working towards planks, and then we will build our housing. Actually, forester will be first. Okay, so now our dam is finally done. So if we have a drought soon, which we're looking clear for now, we're going to be fine. We've got our first scientist inventor hut done now as well. So you can see we've got 1 science point available to us. We're storing up our logs, which I care about. I do want to see though, what does it take to build the forester? We are going to need planks. So let's work towards that as well. We are going to build a water wheel. It's going to be a struggle to do anything more than 1 across. So I'm going to place some things and pause it, which is a nice way to plan things out here. So I know that I want to have a secondary water pump right here. And then we are going to need to place in our lumber mill. I'm going to pause it for now. And the reason I'm pausing it for now is because we are going to need to get our power built first. Otherwise, they won't be able to get around it. So we will add in our water wheel right here. And then I'm going to add in this power wheel as well. And the idea there is that I want this to function regardless of whether there's a drought or not. And there we go. This should be sufficient. We're going to pause this for now. and we'll get this thing moving quickly. We're going to also need storage. For this one, I think we can build a small storage pile because we're going to use a lot of these planks. We'll set this up right away. Planks. And now this is all that's really going to be focused on. So the main reason why I care about this is eventually we're going to exhaust all of these trees. We have enough lumberjacks that we're going to move faster than these can replenish themselves. I could prevent that by slowing this down, but I would much rather just get this thing moving. We're also working against our beaver population because our beavers are aging, and if we don't get this done quickly, we're going to start losing beavers to old age. Now, thankfully, the lumber mills don't take much wood. In fact, our power wheel is one of the more lumber-intensive things, and we now have enough science to unlock our forester. So we'll do that. Now, I want to think about where I'm placing this because if we locate it correctly, we are going to be able to hit most everywhere that I want to go to. And you can see this little area changes significantly based upon the paths that we have and its location. Now, this is a good location for us because we'll be able to get up the hill and potentially plant some more blueberries. I think we're going to place that right about here. We'll pause this. Actually, we'll keep it running, but the priority for the worker is going to be very, very low. This, on the other hand, will have a very high priority for the workers. So this allows the game now to figure out where we want our workers to go first. And that is huge because this has been a problem in the past where you're kind of hunting and pecking and turning buildings on and off. And now you don't have to do that. You can just set the priority. If you know that water, for instance, is a priority, high priority workplace, we always want someone there. As far as this goes, the gatherer flag, Banana Mod, we're going to have you go somewhere else if needed. And this is the high priority, I think, right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and plant some trees. We have pine here right now, which matures fairly quickly, 12 days, and provides 2 lumber. If we take a look, 30 days for maple. So it's significantly longer. 24 for chestnut, but maple for that extra couple of days gives you twice as much wood. So I think up top, we are going to go with some maple. Down here, we will go with more of our pine. And then let me see how far down this goes. It goes to about right here. We're going to plant some more berries as well. And then just for good measure, I believe that the gatherer actually picks up the chestnut. I'm going to plant a couple of chestnut trees over here, and we'll just give that a shot. There we go. Now, we've got 2 scientists. We got the Federation just working his tail off, trying to get science. And same thing with Nick Collins. So I think we're going to lower the priority of one of these. Oh, and that immediately makes Federation find another job. We've got our first drought. We're going to do the same thing here and lower the priority of 2 of these. And now that we have extra lumber available, and I don't ever want to run out of water or food, so we're going to again store more water and additional food. And as far as the design here, I'm not certain that we're going to keep anything here, but I like the idea of it radiating out from here. And eventually, if this becomes wet, I'd love to plant a row of decorative trees right down the center. So we'll see, future planning, probably not the most important thing to be thinking about, but nonetheless, I'm going to think about it. Now let's start thinking about our housing as well. We've got plenty of other stuff to work on, but our housing is probably the most important at this point in time. And what I think we're going to do, we'll start low and just have something fairly basic. And then we also need to start thinking about the beaver's well-being so that we get some children, because that is going to be a concern of ours. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add in this campfire up here. It'll be a romantic place for it. So you just come over here and, romance right there. Love it. Okay, and now all of our beavers have homes and they're working on building our campfire site. And it looks like we've even got this done over here, so we can now accept blueberries. So we're going to swap that over. Now, here's the thing that's interesting. Maybe actually we should be thinking about farming a bit. So I'm going to switch this to carrots, and eventually I want to start carrot farming. And this seems like as good a spot as any to do that. So we've finally got our beavers over here. We've got beavers sitting by the campfire enjoying time alone. And this is Philip with 2 L's. You should enjoy your time alone, Philip. And look at this. Our beavers are now happier than ever before. We've reached a new well-being high score of 3. That's because they're not homeless anymore. At least I don't think that they are. Look at that. They all have homes. So this, we should be mostly filled. So we're not going to have any baby beavers until we have more homes than this, unfortunately. So I think what we're going to do is go ahead and build across the street. And eventually this will become a larger apartment building. Now, the unfortunate part is that we are basically out of lumber at this point. I'm going to completely deprioritize making planks. I wonder if I turn it off, if they will collect the lumber from here. There we go. We grab the logs out of here and we've got a couple of trees popping up. So maybe we'll get this going and then they can come over to the campfire and serenade one another and hopefully have some baby beavers, because we've got 10 super old beavers and we've got Banana Ma dying of old age. No, that's not okay. I'm just noticing that we are not doing great on food, but thankfully some of these blueberries are coming back into season, but we are going to increase our priority of the gatherers here. And now we've got the Federation, the jack of all trades, the real MVP of our entire little colony, going ahead and picking some more blueberries. Oh, and finally, we've got some baby beavers. We got Cranky Kyle and Christian. So thank you so much for being born, because we have been desperate for baby beavers. Oh my goodness, for the first time in a while, we actually have a store of lumber. It's only 3, but I'll take it. So what we're going to do now is start to focus on some farming, and that is a really big need at this point. So if we take a look here, what you can see is that basically we're relying on these blueberries, just a couple that we have. Thankfully, we do have, now it's Joe, going ahead and planting some new blueberry plants, but still, we could definitely use some farmed food as well. So I like to place 2 farmhouses, and the main reason for that is that you can have them one prioritize planting and the other prioritizing harvesting. So that's what we're going to do. We'll build 2 farmhouses, and then we're going to be super basic with it and just plant a whole bunch of carrots for the time being. And this one will do the planting, this one will do the harvesting. And it looks like we can go a little bit to the other side of the bridge as well. There we go. And I'm wondering if we add this road here, does this extend our reach? It does not. It doesn't do anything, but that's okay. I think that we're going to be completely fine. Okay, and this is the day that I've been waiting for. We've got some pine trees. We've also got a beaver here with a chipped tooth. So that is something new, negative status conditions, new for update 2 anyway. So new to me, and we are going to definitely take care of this. So this is under well-being, and now we have a teeth grindstone. So this is important because this will give us -1 in terms of the overall wellness of Philip. You know what? It's Philip. He's at the end of his life anyway. Maybe we just let him go. But what this does is it'll slow down work speed, slow down the movement speed, and the overall life expectancy. So if we have more of the basic needs met and our overall level is higher, instead of being a 3, it's a 5 or 7, we can end up with the next well-being tier being met, and our beavers are much better. So I'm going to go ahead and build this teeth grindstone, and don't let Philip know I did it for him. Did it for someone else. There we go. And we'll speed this right along. The other thing, now that we have some of these pine trees coming up, I want to make sure that we've got some priority here. So it's funny enough, it's Philip who's doing this. That's probably why his teeth are broken. There we go. And I want to check to see, do we have any open homes? We have 1 that is totally empty. It's really not that much. We might want even more homes getting built as well. And now we have plenty of science. So I'm going to unlock the wooden stairs. And, you know, I'm going to do this for probably the silliest reason ever. I just like symmetry and the ability to get places in multiple ways. I'm also going to unlock some platforms. And I think that the 2 and really all of these are important. We're going to unlock the double platform because I think it's the one I need. It is not. I need a double and a single or a triple. So we're having lots of new beavers growing up and being born, but we have all of our original beavers dying now. In fact, if we take a look, there's a lot of new names in here and only a couple of our original beavers. So where this is really impactful and important is that we are kind of struggling in terms of having beavers to actually do jobs. So I'm going to slow some of this stuff down so that we can get some beavers doing some other things. Our science is a big priority right now, as is being a lumberjack. And truthfully, we're going to need planks soon enough too. At least now we've got some farming going on. That can unlock one of our platforms. Next, it'll be the triple platform. And then we're really ready to start heading down the mountain. I'm also going to add a connection right here. This will be where we start going down. And I'll even start to plan this out. This is going to be so important for us. And it's not even that we need to go anywhere right now, necessarily. It's just that we need to have the plan to get down. This does open up some lumber for us as well, and some dandelions, which is another source of food. So that's not a bad thing. I also like the idea that we are going to be able to dam this over here. So that is going to be a priority of ours as well. And you can see they're already making quick progress of making our way down here. So this dam is going to open up all of this for farmland for us. And I'm not sure how far we'll be able to get down with our farms, but we could certainly think about, now we have the ability to call mulligans, because we can get rid of this and at least recover some of the resources and maybe rebuild it down here. And that could be a really beneficial thing for us. Now, I did not expect them to finish this. I guess they are throwing the wood down and building from up here. Maybe they're rappelling down. I don't know how that happened, but apparently it did. And I'm not going to question their judgment. That's not, you just trust the beaver. So look at this. We have 70 lumber right now. And now we're going to start running low on our planks. So we're going to get this moving again. But we'll at least open up the opportunity because we've built all of our homes now. We've got 5 babies. Philip has died of old age. So, you know, that we've got lots of things happening and lots of babies, which is wonderful. So since we're totally out of planks, I'm thinking I'm going to take one of these and make it the highest priority because it is slowing us down from being able to get down this mountain here and start working some of these other areas. Some of these things don't really need much, just a couple of planks. And then our dam down here is only logs. We actually have all the logs available to us. So this is what's holding us back. Now, the one thing I am curious about, this building takes 50 horsepower. Right now, we're only getting 17. So I'm going to increase the priority on this as well. And hopefully that will allow us to get this thing moving a little bit faster. Oh, we have a 3.9 days until a drought. I'm going to decommission this. I know that we haven't even had a worker here yet, but I'm thinking that this could be very valuable down the hill. We recovered 19 lumber, which I think is one less than it actually takes to build this thing. So it's not that bad of a deal. Actually, it's 20, it's 6 less. It's not too terribly bad though. But when we're looking at this, the big benefit that we have here now is I can put this right here and we can farm a ton. So I'm placing this right here and we're able to go up the hill even. And then we'll add our path. And the other thing, I want to gather down here as well. And with how few dandelions there are, we're going to add just a small warehouse down here. So I'm going to turn off this other gatherer's flag, and that should give us a little bit more motivation to start building the stuff down here. Now, this is the highest priority. I just saw a bunch of beavers head down this way, and we're not going to get there in time. This stinks. We're going to go all day until you finish this. And we're partway there. But with daylight comes our drought. The drought has started. And I think we're going to, yeah, we see that dry up. Ah, bummer. That said, it's only a 4-day drought and we should be okay. Our water supply, I've been watching this carefully because we've been in a spot. Well, first of all, again, more beavers. Now we've got 20. And we were dropping down to about 100 water. It looks like we're okay though. We've got this completely filled. We do have 2 beavers that are currently working the pumps now. I would say the bigger priority is seeing 3 beavers just sitting around down here. We are going to decommission one of these so that beaver could do something a little more valuable with their time. We've got all of these raw materials just sitting over here. It's just logs in a pile. So that's what you get when you decommission a building now. So that's really neat. Look at this. A bunch of tired beavers. Oh, I forgot to set the time back. Oh, just burning them all out. And look at that. The well-being is now -2. That is 100% my fault. All right. Thankfully, it improves quickly. And now we have enough money to buy our new triple platform. So we're going to do that now as well. And I'll place that right here. Just now we have the ability to walk all the way around. Just makes me feel good. And speaking of walking all the way around, one of the things I want to do before the end of this episode today is I want to be able to walk all the way around this. And I want to preserve some more water throughout here. So what we're going to do is attempt to build this up. So we're going to need to unlock our levee. We have enough for that now. So we're going to unlock that, add this here, and I'm going to add levees all the way across here. And now right here, we're going to add a dam. So we just want to store a whole bunch of water. I really feel like this, when you see this kind of thing happen, is when you actually start to see your little beaver community take off. So we're going to add in a wooden staircase down here and then a path all the way around. And now right here, just for the sake of continuity, we'll add our triple platform, which is not enough. Well, I meant 2 double platforms. And then we'll come all the way around here. And then I want to work our way up here. So we've got this, which could be a nice path to get across. Okay, this wild contraption is going to be a way that we are able to store a whole bunch of water. Eventually, we'll move our pumps down here, or at least have more pumps down here. And this will open up a bunch of land for farming as well, because we'll hold all the water back through here, and this should open up as farmland. Now, I am concerned. One of the reasons I want to go all the way around is you now see that when beavers get all the way down here, they end up hungry or thirsty. It's a long hike. And now they've built this dam out, and they're starting to work on our new contraption over here. And what we're going to see is that now we have this all filled in, and we've got farmers here, so we can start planting some more stuff. And I think we want to diversify our food supply. The main reason for that is if we click on any given beaver, and what you'll see is that their well-being is changed based on the type of food that they have. So grilled potatoes, for instance, adds 2 to well-being. And we are so close to adding 20% to their health, for instance. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to grill some potatoes. So I want to build the grill up front while we're thinking about it. And then we'll set this to potato. And I think we're basically everywhere over here we could plant potatoes. Now we are going to need to store the potatoes as well. So we will get some sort of storage down here. Okay, so now we have raw potatoes. So we'll set these to raw potatoes. And then we actually need another one for our grilled potatoes. So for this, we're going to add in a storage up top. There we go. Also going to increase the number of beavers working at our district. And I want to see how many unemployed beavers that we have. We have none. So that's good. And we've got a number of new beavers coming around. And if your name is in this list, drop me a comment below. I want to see. And I want to know what you think about your beavers so far. You can see the jobs here, like Jerry Gray, who is pumping water. Absolutely a beneficial job. And if I'm not taking good care of your beaver, please let me know. I will try to do better. Okay, so I'm seeing one thing that is making me a little bit concerned, and that is our speed of hauling. And it makes me wonder if we just need a hauler. So I think we're going to build a hauling post. They have 100% the carrying capacity. So some of this stuff will just be built a ton faster if we utilize a hauler. And actually, it might have some nice synergy with the inventors over here. Yeah, I like that. We now have 22 beavers. Oh, Jason C. died of old age, and another Philip was born. So I want to see, when we're looking at our homes, yeah, we're almost all filled up. So that is another concern. I think we need to get some more housing through here. Now I know our food situation it's okay. It's not great. So that is something that we need to be aware of, but I think it could be worse. So in light of that, let's just go ahead and build a ton of housing. There we go. So that is going to go a long ways for us. Now, I think we need to focus on this stuff up here first. It's some of the most important stuff. Like, I really care about this, but it's just not that big of a deal in comparison. So I'm just going to highlight all of this and increase the priority to very high. So that's our potatoes, our housing, and our storage for our grilled potatoes. I want to say this has already been, we've got one of these built. Not perfect, but it's okay. And we'll increase the speed of this as well. Secondary, but not nearly as not important as this stuff. Okay, so our grill is done and Patrick has nothing to do. So for the time being, we're going to say that this is a low priority workplace. All right, we finally have our hauling post done as well. And we've got a bunch of beavers working on hauling things, which is good. And you can see things are just moving quickly now. So that is the main reason you need that hauler's post. And look at this. As fast as we can pick things up, as fast as we can produce them, they're getting picked up and brought over so that things are getting constructed quickly. And this is new. We have a beaver that is injured. So Chris Henricks is injured. He refuses to work as a result. So we need to look at our well-being and see what we can do to fix the beaver. Medical bed, fixes injury, takes 80 science. We've got that. We'll do that. Why don't we do this wet fur as well? I don't know what this does. It gives them I guess this gives them a place where they can get refreshed with a shower. Good enough for me. And let's see what each of these take. 10 lumber, 1 plank. That is well worth it. And we'll just continue to have our little beaver paradise over here. We got a medical bed. Place that right over here. And then our shower right next to that. Doesn't like it. Okay, it's like a water pump. It needs to be partially in the water, partially not. So there we go. That's as good a spot as any. And great. Now we've got this built over here. Oh, no, we don't. What happened to the beaver? Did he just heal over time? I guess he just healed over time. I don't understand because we didn't build either of these yet. Wet fur or the medical bed, but we've got it now. We're a plank shy and thankfully this doesn't need any workers. So that is a helpful thing. Now over here at the shower, does this need workers? Nope. Kind of the same story here as well. Just a place to hang out, get some wet fur and hopefully see our overall well-being increase. So right now wet fur is only 1 out of 30. So that's not great. I think we're going to see some significant improvement there. We also finally have some of our potatoes coming to be. So now we need to get workers over here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and reduce the number of workers that we have at some of these other locations, kick some folks out of here and hopefully get someone grilling up some tasty food. Look at this. Our beavers are happier than ever, well-being of level 6. So that I think we can directly attribute to having the shower and having the new medical tent. Well, I guess no one's using this, so we don't have any medicine. So that is a thing that we need. So to get the medicine, we actually need a healer who can take, I believe, sunflower and water and wood and make medicine. Is it dandelion that we actually need? Yes, it's dandelion. So we are going to unlock that healer. Unfortunately, we need 300 science points. So that is a lot for us right now. And the Federation has died of old age. So we've lost Vinnie Morrison as well. And our well-being is at 6. And I think we can attribute a lot of this to our potato grilling. Because if we were to take a look here, yes, +2 for grilled potatoes. So as we go through and we add these things keep getting better. The rooftop terrace is another thing that we could add that would improve the overall well-being of our beavers. I think we might do it. So this is an easy one for us, which is why I'm interested in it. Again, we just want to keep improving our well-being. And once we get to 300 science, we are going to also go ahead and build our healer's hut. All right, we have our 300 science points, so we can unlock this and try to find an appropriate location for this. I think we'll just sneak it back here. I think it's going to work just fine back here. Oh, this needs gears and metal blocks. So this will not be happening anytime soon. In fact, that means that we can turn this thing off as well. No reason to have it. And I'm going to pause it because it's a good reminder to myself to focus on this down the line. We've got plenty of metal around us. It's just a matter of actually getting there. So with that, I think that we are going to focus on this and let's see how our beavers do finishing this off. This is going to be an important connection for us. Okay, so I've decided to prioritize this side. So I noticed that all of the haulers were coming around the long way and it was just really making things a challenge. So we're going to build on this side first because it's a little bit faster. And I'm noticing one other kind of concerning trend. So right now we've got blueberries completely filled to the brim and we could really use another storage hut for these. So we are going to add that. And now I've wrapped this all the way around so that someone could get up from this side or over here. Got to speed it up in both directions, and we're going to speed this along. So I do think a builder's hut could also help us. Now, we are using the builders from the district center, but I think having additional builders could be a benefit to us. It's 100 science points. We have it available to us, so we are going to build this. And we'll just place this right on top. Here we've got our district warehouse with our grilled potatoes, and this is kind of interesting. So before this, these obviously were in a inside of a building, so it kind of felt a little more natural. Now for our grilled potatoes, it's inside of an outdoor facility. Whatever works, it's pretty, and that's all I care about. So there we go. And then we'll take this one, make this one blueberries, so we can collect even more of those. Look at that, they're gonna fill it up so quickly. We could use another one. Really what we need to do is go ahead and unlock our larger warehouse, and the capacity is 1,000 bigger. And now I'm curious, how many unemployed beavers? We've got a couple. Amy, you are gonna be a builder. Same with Chris Carlberg, you're gonna be a builder as well. Jimmy, you're gonna be a builder. Luke, Ryan, Sally, lots of builders incoming. And we've got Planter Duck and Philip again, baby Philip. And Shane, so many familiar faces in here. Love seeing that. And way too many Phillips. Okay, we're making some good progress here. I do want to check a couple of things. As far as gears, it's 100 gears to build a gear workshop, or 100 science to build a gear workshop. I think we're going to do that right now and get this thing going. So this I'm going to place up here. I want to be able to lift this up, lift up the power. So we will add in a platform right here. And then I'll need to use 80 science for this high power shaft. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And that should give us the ability to use this thing. So I'm going to speed this along. We'll pause the workshop itself. And this will at least allow us to make some progress towards our healer, which, I mean, obviously we've got the metal blocks too, which is going to be something to worry about. But the gears are incredibly important. We can't have better water storage, for instance, until we have gears. Oh my goodness. And we can't have this high power shaft until we have gears. That kills me. Oh, well, I guess what are you going to do besides try something new? So the something new will be that we will add in a windmill. So we have enough to build this now. And there we go. We've got that windmill now. This should be a great benefit to us. It'll not just improve things here, but it will also allow us to, in the future, add power capacity over here as well. So now we finally have the power here. That is actually producing a ton of power. Once we get this done, and it's too far from a district now. That is a killer. We're going to need a way to get down. So we'll just build a structure to get down into the water. And now we're also going to need gear storage. So again, another storage, a small warehouse. So there we go. So now this is all attached. So this is huge because now we have the power going from all the way over here at the power wheel up to this gear workshop. Everything's connected, and we can continue to add on some windmills as necessary. And looking over here, we've almost accomplished our main goal, which is to provide a way down all the way around. So this is a huge water storage for us, and we are going to be able to have some water pumps along here. All right, one last piece over here. We're so close. We've got our new water pump, and there we go. We have a very nice supply of water at this point. So this is going to be huge for us. We'll likely want to move some more of these water pumps down here because this is an excellent store of water for us. But I think that we've really unlocked the potential of this map. And at this point, we have a stable food supply, a fairly stable, actually our water supply is not stable. I'll unlock our larger water tank. And then we've got these water pumps prioritized by the haulers, which I think is really important. But all of the individual water storage buildings should also be prioritized by the haulers. So I'm going to see if there's one more place where we can add another water pump. And then again, we'll just let this go. So gears again are our big limiting factor, and it looks like our power output is an issue. So I am going to attempt to fix this. and just make sure that when things are windy, we are producing as much as is possible. And then we've got another drought coming up. So I think ultimately we just need to make sure that we can survive through this thing. So I'm going to add in a bunch of these smaller water storage facilities, and that'll at least get us through the drought. And you can see that prioritizing this has really done a lot for our water supply. We are at the top now, and that is great because we were in a really rough spot for a second there. 0 water available. Okay, so we finally have one of these large water tanks available. So that's really helpful. I'm going to increase the number of haulers that we have. I think that we've likely got some unemployed beavers. Yeah, we've got a lot of unemployed beavers, truthfully. So that is not a good thing for us. So we can just crank this up, give Philip a job, and look around. I think that we are pretty much maxed out. The one thing that's a bit concerning to me is, again, we have completely filled up our housing. So I think that's going to be a thing for the next one. It's not completely filled, but we have no babies. So that, to me, means that we need more housing if we are going to improve that. But we have lots of water. We have lots of lumber. We have lots of food. We are off from the bluff, which means that we have accomplished all of our goals that we set out today. We're going to leave it here. I am going to have another episode coming out next Friday, and then the following Tuesday after that. Another huge shout out to the developers of the game for sponsoring today's video. Really, really awesome. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And it is a pleasure to bring this to you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care. Bye-bye.